Hi, I'm Ellen Violette, and I'm so excited today. I've got my guest, Dennis Shaver, and Dennis went from farm raised to organically grown. He's an American author, business coach, speaker, and trainer, and a #1 international best-selling author, and he's a client of mine. So welcome, Dennis. I'm so glad we could do this.
Wow, I'm so excited as well. I'm grinning from ear to ear. This is why I have crow's feet, because I'm always smiling when I hang out with you.
We do have a good time, don't we?
We do, even though we have to work hard to get where we're at, but certainly we always have a good time. Yes, we do.
So I'm so excited to let people know about all the wonderful results that you've had since we've started working together. I helped Dennis take his book to #1 and get it ready to take the book to #1. And he's been keeping me, posted on all the wonderful things that have been happening. But I wanted everybody to hear what he has done and what he's going through, because I think it's a great lesson, and he's just doing this the right way. So what I want to ask you first, Dennis, is what was your business like before you decided to become a best-selling author?
Well, first of all, my business, I've been in it for decades, so I really understand my business. My business is about serving other people and helping them get their idea from their mind to a design, to a prototype, and then to a pitch that will cause your target market buyers to say, ooh, I want that. And it's a new type of a formula. No one's used it before. In fact, Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank has even complimented on what this can mean to so many aspiring entrepreneurs. So I've been doing this in my business in terms of this method of getting an idea from mind to market in my business for decades. And my business was going along great. And then all of a sudden people kept saying, Dennis, you ought to put this in a book. I'm like, put what in a book? And they said, well, what you teach me about. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's what I do. I help people. And they said, but there's people out there that have great ideas, but they're scared. They don't know how to get that idea to market. They're afraid someone's going to take it. They don't know how to protect it. And all these things that came up. And I said, well, you do have a good point there. And they said, why don't you write a book? And I'd hear it more and more. And I thought, who am I to write a book? Okay.
Very common
So,
response. Yeah.
exactly. So once the book became once it became published, it first of all blew my mind. I was like completely floored that when it published, it went so quick from being a huge number out there to #1. And I wonder, how in the world do I deserve this? Where I've never written a book before. I had no idea how to do it until I met you, and I met you at the 11th hour. I wish I would have known you many, many years before that. But you helped reel me in to position it. And we'll talk more about this, but bottom line is my business is doing very well. In fact, it's doing even better now because of not only writing the book and stepping up to a God-given right to write about something that you are so passionate about and people really need, because it satisfies a need out there and it helps with many pain points and provides solutions. So the business is doing very, very well. That was your original question, but I'm all excited.
I'm so happy about that. But what made you decide to even seek me out to do a bestseller launch? Like, okay, you're writing the book, but now how did you make the connection that, yeah, I should do a bestseller launch?
Well, interesting you asked that question, because I remember it was like probably about, what was it, little over 2 months when I met you, when I connected with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, where are you at with your book? And I said, well, I already have the book cover done and I have the writing done. And I thought maybe I should consult with a coach. And my other friend, we have a mutual friend, said, Dennis, you need to meet Ellen. She is a rock star at this, at helping people get their book to market and get to a bestseller status. And I didn't think, my goal wasn't to become a bestseller, but I thought, well, shoot, why not? Let's see what's possible here. So you know that what my book looked like, the book cover was like, I think your point was, are you kidding me? Why would you put that on a book cover? And then the title, can I share about the title as well? Oh my God. The title, I call it Reinvent America. And you're like, why would you call it that? And of course, we won't get into a lot of the how we did it here. We'll just talk more about what and the why, because I don't let out your beautiful secrets of how to do this. It's amazing.
Well, it would take too long anyway, but yeah.
It's true. Your magic juju. But I'm grateful I found out about how to do that. So it goes back to this book, and I was so grateful to connect with you, Ellen, because I
And me
believe.
too. Yeah.
Thank you. I believe we need. It's important for us to surround ourselves with resources that can help us rise above. What I had was a fantastic book, the information, but I didn't have a great book cover, nor did I even know how the strategy to get it from the manuscript, if you could call it that, into the marketplace. I had no idea. And our mutual friend, Jackie, suggested we connect. And when we connected, sparks flew and smoke was rising.
So, well, so the experience of becoming a bestseller writer, I mean, what did that do for you? How did it make you feel? Did it, did it increase your confidence, or what was the experience like?
Yes to all the above. I
Yay.
was so happy. I didn't realize what is truly possible until I stepped into what I call my genius. And I'm not talking about ego here. I believe in life we are experts at things. And for me, I am an expert at entrepreneurship. Okay, I just love it. It's been that way ever since I was born and raised in a big dairy farm with there's 7 boys in my family. Our daddy raised us boys as MacGyvers to be fixing things. So when I left the dairy farm, I thought, what can I do? And it's like, I know how to fix things. Well, it turned into this book and beyond strategy, and it blows my mind about what it's done to open doors for me. Like, I had no idea what was possible. And all of a sudden people start reaching out to me and saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I bought your book and I'm so happy. And I said, well, what is it about it? And they said, well, no one's ever made it so simple to understand. And I'm thinking to myself, really? All the books that are out there? No, nothing, no one's ever written it like that. And so I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And every time I get these comments back, these testimonials, I'm like, sometimes you wonder why you're worthy and deserving of something so great.
Mhm.
To get those compliments. And it's all because when you feel that intuition, like it's important to help others, to serve others, it's not about me, it's about helping others. That's where the magic starts showing up. So the book really helped pave that path. And thanks to you, Ellen, I mean, it wouldn't be there. I wouldn't have known you. I don't know how, like, what would have happened? I would have had the old book cover, which was completely different. I would have had the old title,
Mhm.
which had nothing to do with beautiful content inside the book. And it would have probably would have been stuck in the muck and hoping
Oh,
something would happen with it.
well, luckily that didn't happen, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yes, that's true.
But um, let me ask you, what's happened since then? Because I know some amazing things have been happening for you.
Yes, in fact, I just got a call today that one of the major TV stations is really interested in talking to me and possibly doing a mini series on helping people get their ideas from their mind to the market and profit. And so I'm really excited about that. And I've connected with so many people around the world. It seems like wherever I go, I don't tell people what I do. I never have. I always ask about them. And then they'll say, Dennis, it's amazing. You're very intriguing. What is it you do anyways? Well, then I bring up, I say, well, I'm glad you asked. Have you ever had an idea that you wanted to get that idea to the marketplace? And they're like, oh, yeah. Well, about 85% of the people I ask usually answer that question. And it's a
Right.
great lead in. And then I start sharing what I do. And then that is I'm a best-selling author on a topic of, and I share it and getting your idea from mind to market. And they're like, wow. So I pretty much do what I call salt the horse. And on a dairy farm, we had cattle that would be sick, or horses would be sick. And the way to bring them back and get them healthy is to hydrate them. That was one option. The way to hydrate them is if they're laying down, you can't talk to them because they don't talk. I can't talk horse talk or cow talk. So
Right.
it's taking some salt and putting it in their mouth and causing them to swallow it and makes them thirsty. When you make them thirsty, then they go and they start drinking water. When they drink water, they hydrate. When they hydrate, they get back on track and get up and start moving. So I kind of do that when I meet people around the world. I basically pave the path. I want to find out about them. And eventually they're intrigued by you and they ask about you, and then you excite them. And then they're like, oh man, I want to be part of this. Can I get the book? How do I get the book? And so it just starts happening.
That is awesome. So when we talked the first time after, there were a couple of things that you said. One was that you'd been on the bestseller list for a year, right? For almost a year at that point. I think it's a
Beyond a
year.
year.
Isn't it a year?
Yes.
So let me ask you, what is it that you feel keeps it up there? You know, because it's been there for
Well,
so.
if I can share a quick story, and I always take it back to the dairy farm because I learned so much there. We had an abundance of one thing on our dairy farm, and it wasn't milk; it was manure. And we had to move that manure all the time, every day. It was like, it's a job, and I mean, this is why I have big hands. Okay, is hard work. But one day, it was wiping the sweat off my brow. It was a hot summer day in Michigan, and my daddy walks in. He says, "Son, how you doing on cleaning that barn out?" And I said, "Well, Daddy, I've been hoping and praying I'll get this done by chore time." And of course, chore time is 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the evening. It was 3 o'clock at that point. He takes a toke of his Marlboro cigarette and looks at me and says, "Well, son," he says, "you can hope and pray all you want, but it's not until you get your hands on that shovel and start pitching is when the barn's going to get cleaned."
Right.
It's all about action, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So anything that I do, I know that it's important to take action, but it's also important to take effective action on what it is that you want to achieve. So that's sort of my magic juju that I've incorporated in anything that I'm doing to either myself make something happen or to help other people. But I do what's called the 3-step entrepreneurial success formula. And that is ready, aim, action. Ready is having the right mindset. How do we know where we want to go if we don't know our true north, what we really aspire to? And then secondly is the aim. Ready, aim. Aim is our skill set, and that's identifying and aligning with all available resources that can get us the most effective traction to take the most effective action. Then we can implement and take action. That's sort of what led me to you is that you helped me ready, aim, action, my book, to get it out there to become a bestseller. So anything that I do and I've done since I met you was get prepared, be prepared, stay on it, and don't let go, because this is something that people really need. That's why I wrote the book. And I'm here to help make that happen.
When you say about that, because one thing you said earlier that I wanted to come back to is you said, you know, people told you that no one had said it the way that you said it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that people will say, oh, well, why should I write a book? It's been done, it's been said, you know, all that sort of thing. But somehow what happens is you do it in a different way, and then you attract the people who will hear it the way you say it and not the way other people say it.
Right.
And
well, I know that nobody has probably been through the type of family life that I was, being raised on a farm, 7 brothers, working their tails off, pitching manure, milking cows, and then it evolves into MacGyvering things, and then it evolves into a lifetime of helping people by the lessons I learned on the dairy farm.
right,
I'm
and
sure
you're
a
not
lot of
afraid
people
of hard work, and I know that's been a huge,
right.
you know, asset to your success as well. So one of the things that I've noticed that you've done since we were together, oh no, my connection has just got unstable, so I hope we're going to continue to be live here. One of the things that I've noticed you've done is you've been going to a lot of conferences, and I know that something really exciting happened at, I think it was the first one that you went to. Was it the first one where you met the shark?
Oh, the shark. Yes, absolutely. And in fact, I was at a big event, and I always wanted to meet Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. I mean, I love Shark Tank. And the reason I love it is because it's about helping people take action on their ideas, and it inspires people. And people have ideas all around the world, and they just don't know how to do it right. So they watch other people and see, how people are doing it. So I was at this event in LA, and I thought to myself, I'm going to sign my book, and I'm going to go to this class because he's teaching, Kevin Harrington was teaching a class on how to pitch your idea. And so I wrote a nice little note in the front of my book, and I thought, I'm going to go there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to stand in a crowd. There's probably 100 and some people. And as soon as he comes in, I'm going to run right over to him, and I'm going to hand my book to him. And I was feeling fear and like, oh my gosh, who am I to do this? But I thought, just do it, Dennis, do it. So 10 to 8, we're standing outside this room. The doors are closed. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Harrington comes in. Now, Kevin Harrington is not a big guy. He's just a little guy with a big personality. And he comes in. Lo and behold, he's coming right at me. Of all the people in this whole group, I'm like, holy smokes. My heart's pounding like crazy. And I have my book, and I was thinking, hopefully my hands aren't sweating because I get my book all wet and I won't want to hand it to him. All this dumb stuff. I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. And so I had the book, and I walked up to Kevin. I says, Kevin Harrington. I put my hand out. Dennis Shaver, I so much appreciate what you are doing to help my clients rise above. In fact, I've got this book for you, and I've talked about you in this book as well. I'd love you to have this as a gift. He's like, wow, I love the title. And he looks at the back and says, wow, this is you. This is amazing. And he thanked me for it. Then he walks into the classroom. Doors are still closed. And all my friends are like high-fiving me, going, oh my God, Dennis, that guy's like a multi-million-dollar guy. Yeah. Has started as seen on TV, founded it. He's a Shark Tank guy. And you just talked to him. Of all the people here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. 8 o'clock, the doors open. All of a sudden, when the doors open, I'm like right at the front of the crowd. Where's Kevin Harrington? Sitting at the front of the class on a director's stool. He's got my book with his hand inside my book, and he's sitting there waiting for us all to walk in. And all of a sudden, my heart starts pounding. I'm thinking, holy smokes, he's going to ask me questions about my book. What am I going to say? I'm thinking, wait a minute, I wrote the book. This is what I'm about. So what happens is I go in and sit down, my heart's pounding like crazy, and people saw my book in his hands and are like, oh my God, Dennis, you're up. So all of a sudden he asks the question, like he says, so I know we have a lot to cover today. It's Saturday, but I'd like to change up the class a little bit. Do you guys mind? Everybody says, no, go ahead. And all of a sudden he turns over and says, Dennis Shaver, come on up. Oh my God, I was so excited when I stood up. Like, first of all, you think, who am I to have this honor? And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, what a great feeling. I thought about you, Ellen, for helping me pave this path. I thought about a lot of things in that 15 seconds of walking to the front of the class. Mm-hmm. When I got up on the stage with him, he grabbed me by my side, pulled me right in, and says, wow, this is absolutely amazing. For the last 10 minutes, I've been hooked on your book.
Wow.
And I've been reading the back of it, I'm reading about this. He said, you got to tell me, you got to share this with the class. Then he takes the book, puts it out. Photographer starts running forward. Yeah, the photographer's coming forward, click, taking photos. I'm like, holy smokes, life is happening right now. And he just asked me all these questions. Yeah, I'm on stage. He had me on stage for almost an hour. It's absolutely amazing. And given me as an example for the rest of the people, write a book. You all have a book within you. Why aren't you writing a book? You want to be successful entrepreneurs? Write a book. You know something that other people don't know when you put it in your own words. So, that event opened doors, and ever since then, a lot of events have opened doors because it's about networking. Mm-hmm. You want to get some traction with your book, you got to get out there and put it in front of people. Otherwise, when you're out of sight, you're out of mind.
Absolutely. And, saying that about writing a book, it's so funny because I was just talking to somebody today, a potential strategic partner, and she has 37 years experience in marketing. And what she said was, I don't know what to write about. And I was like, you just explained your 6-step system to me. That's what you write about,
right.
It's so funny that sometimes people, they don't realize that it's the same thing they've been teaching for at least a while, if not years. And it's just a matter of now getting it down into a form where we can get it out to more people so that more people can hear your message and more good things happen. So anything else that you want to share about what happened after that? What happened after Kevin? What came from that?
Yes. In fact, another thing that I did is I also joined another coaching group about list building, LIST, like building your email list and that type of thing. And with this lady, her name is Shanda Sumter, and she teaches a course on how to list build and does a fantastic job at it. In fact, what we did is we learned how to put together, I won't say the how, I'll say the what and the why. The reason we list build is that we can communicate with our people that we build our list with. When you communicate with them, you can share solutions, benefits to helping with entrepreneurship, whatever it is your theme is. Well, mine was getting your idea from mind to market. So I did what's called a summit, an online summit. That online summit is where I interview other people, other experts in my field, like let's say, for example, patent attorneys or social media experts or copyright experts, all about entrepreneurship. I interviewed them, I asked them 6 to 7 questions, and then we would air it online. I did 24 interviews, and it lasted there was one released every day. And that got me so much traction by, number one, being a best-selling author, or you could just be an author. Mm-hmm. And then it helped me look like a subject matter expert even more, because I'm interviewing other subject matter experts, and it just worked for everybody. It was fantastic. There has been so many things that have surfaced as a result of those efforts to take the time, make the time to promote something great. Again, it's not about me, it's about helping others help themselves.
Well, let me ask you a question about that. Do you feel that being a best-selling author helped you get those people to want to be on your summit and be other experts with you?
That was the number one. That was so easy for them to say yes. Otherwise, they would have said, "Who are you?" Yeah. And I basically start out by saying, let's say, for example, you're an expert I want to interview. So Ellen, I'm really inspired by what you do to help people become a number one best-selling author. I'd love to learn about how other people can learn how to do that. And I'd love to interview you about that as well and share it with my large list of people. And you're like, well, of course. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you?
And where? Yeah.
Right. But the thing is that when they hear that you're a best-selling author, they're like, oh, well, of course I do. Mm-hmm. And it's opened so many doors since then by just making that introduction when they ask, what is it you do? And I share a best-selling author, and they're like, wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah. Well, I know you also consult with companies. Has that had any impact on that, or is that a separate thing?
Yes. My background, by the way, is many years working in product development and entrepreneurship and leadership with big companies like General Motors, Saturn Corporation, PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, A.O. Smith Corporation, the Clorox Corporation, and most recently I've also done a lot of training programs for companies like the Nature's Bounty Company, $1 billion company, and 7-Eleven, you probably heard of them, and the list goes on. But the thing is that I've learned a lot working with these big corporations, and now that I'm a best-selling author, it's so easy to open the door to other companies to offer up my coaching support and my training support. It just paves the path for me. I'm like, why didn't I do this earlier?
Oh God, I'm so thrilled for you. It's like, it's just a joy. It's just a joy to work with you.
Oh, thank you. And you too.
Yeah. So what would you say to other authors, aspiring authors, or, consultants, coaches who maybe are afraid to write a book, but want to write a book or don't even realize they should? What would you say to them?
Well, I'll play this button here.
That was easy.
I'm into products, as you know. It's like now I look back and say, wow, that was easy. Yeah. I'll give an example of a quick story is that I was attending an event called Author 101 or something like that. It was some course through Louise Hay. Do you remember her?
Sure.
Louise Hay, what a wonderful lady. And the question was asked of me, Dennis, are you an author? And my answer was, oh, no. And she says, well, are you writing a book? And I said, well, yes, I am. She says, then you're an author. And I said, well, not yet. And she says, but you're an author because you're already writing a book now. I said, okay, I get it. Okay. And then she says, so how long have you been working on your book? And I said, about 6 years. And she says, why so long? And I said, because I'm a CEO of a company and I've got employees, responsibilities. She says, that's an excuse. And I said, okay. And then she says, so why have you taken so long besides what you're saying, your job and that type of thing? And I said, well, I don't know how to write a book, and I keep writing stuff down, and it doesn't sound right, and on and on and on. She said, may I help you? And I said, absolutely. I said, what is the juju here? What can I do? And she said, first get it down, then get it right.
Yep.
And that those wise words of wisdom really, really helped me, because when you're writing a book, I believe it's important to have stories that support a great message. But most importantly, the book needs to be something that addresses some pain points out in the marketplace. And for mine, the title of my book is called The Entrepreneurial Incubator: Secrets to Getting Your Idea from Mind to Market. And before that, it was called Reinvent America. But this new title is what really helped pave the path, because a lot of people were looking up these words, searching these words. And that's what caused them to get to my book and go, here's a book. Well, the more people start searching it, the more traffic it got. And the more traffic I got, the better ratings I got. And it's all 5-star ratings. I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
Great testimonials that blow my mind. I mean, it almost brings tears to my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
just amazing. It's such a great feeling, you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you something. The whole thing about the title, so many people come to me when they've already written the book or they've already got their title, and sometimes they get really attached to their title. And I really try to help them to disconnect from their title long enough to just do what you and I did, because of exactly what you just said, which is, you've got to have the words that people are clicking on so they can find your book. And a lot of times people don't realize that. And once they come to me, then I just say, okay, from now on, do that first, but if they can be in the middle, then we got to start where they are.
Right. What's really cool about what you do, and I appreciate so much of what you do, is it's similar to what I do with helping people with products, getting them to market, is that getting a product to market isn't about what you think they need. Getting a product to the market is addressing what a target market client wants.
Yes, exactly.
So again, it's not about what you think their target market needs. It's what your target market wants. How do you find out what they want? Is following your program. That's exactly what it is. I followed your program to find out what our target market wants. I had the content, but it was that title. It was the subtitle. It was a few other things that we did, the magic juju, that really helped put that on the right path, the right track to take it forward. And that's where I got the momentum, and it just keeps on going.
Yes, I get it. That is exactly how it works. And for those people who, are having trouble getting their book written, I do a process with people who need that, where we just come up with a list of questions, I interview them, and then we turn it into a book. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be painful for people, but I think what was so important, that what you went through with Louise, hey, because it's true, people come up with all kinds of excuses. They'll say, oh, I'll do it someday, or, there's a why not, and that reason why not. And usually it's something else underneath. And it's more like what you were saying before, I don't deserve it. Who am I? I mean, all the other things that people say are thinking, well, how's mine going to be different? And it just is, because everybody's different,
Right.
But
In fact, what's interesting is that I was on a flight from Detroit to LA some time ago on Northwest. And all of a sudden, I meet a person next to me on the flight who says, "So what is it you do, Dennis?" And I share it, and I pull out the book, and she says, "Oh my God, you're a bestseller!" And she says, she look around, we got a bestseller in the plane here. And then all of a sudden, a couple of stewardesses come over, and they go, "Wow, a bestseller! Oh my God, that's amazing!" I'm like sitting there, and I've got these beautiful chills of goosebumps, and thinking, this is absolutely amazing. Wherever you go, once you write that book and put it out there, and also keep pitching the coal to keep it hot, to keep that book out there, that opportunities start showing up. Because when you don't do the work, why would anything grow? It's when you do the work, you cultivate your efforts, always serving, and things keep showing up. So that's what's showing up, is this people reach out to me and also social media. Very, very important. As you know, I do a lot of posts on social media, that inspirational things that are really for me, for the witness of you to see what I'm writing about, but it helps other people as well. So it's always putting yourself out there and being available to share with other people about what inspires you, and being available to help others as well.
And here's the other thing. I see so many people, they'll do a bestseller launch and then they never do another one. And I was so excited when you came back and said, okay, I'm doing another book. Let's do it again. Because again, it's keeping up the momentum. It's a strategy. It's a process. And some people think, oh, well, I launched the book, it's over. But it's like, no, because you can, the tools that Amazon has, you can use every 90 days. So, I mean, you can create different kinds of strategies depending on what you're trying to do, each time you do it. But definitely doing it over and over. So I'm really excited that we're going to do it again. So is there anything you want to say about your upcoming book?
Well, first of all, let's talk about doing it again first. Is that
Okay.
the reason I'm coming back to you is that when you know something's working great, you just go back and do it again. You want to. And for example, I love good dark chocolate. Okay, when I find the best dark chocolate, you can bet I will know where I bought it and what it tastes like and everything about it, because it so much satisfies me. No different than having a formula for success. Once you know a simple formula that works, you stick with it. And if it needs to be tweaked, you tweak a little bit, you add a little bit. But this is why I choose to come back to you, Ellen, is I know you got my back. You've got my back. I know this time around, I don't need to do a lot of the things I did the first time I wrote a book. First time I wrote my book, I did it the hard way until I met you, and then it got easier. So I would say, yes, I would say the earlier that you can a person can meet you who's wanting to write a book, the earlier that they can meet you at the very early stages of wanting to write a book, get a hold of you now, because there's ways that you can write a book really fast, really easy, and get it out there as soon as possible and do really, really well by following your formula. And that's why I know I'm doing it different. We've talked about this, and I can't share it because I don't want to, share all your magic juju, but brilliant. It's brilliant and it's amazing. And again, my original goal was not to be a bestseller, but then people kept saying, why not? And since it's become a bestseller, there are so many doors that are opening for me that I didn't even imagine would be possible. Now I know anything is possible.
Well, I am so happy for you, and I could not be prouder. And I'm so excited that we're just getting your message out to so many more people out there than before, and that it's opening doors for you and, making your business better and all that. So if people, since you have more books coming out, I don't want to promote one. Let's just say they go to Amazon and they look you up. Do they put in Dennis G. Shaver to get to your page?
Dennis G. Shaver, like G Wiz. I won't tell you my middle name, okay?
Dennis G. With
Dennis
G.
Shaver.
Dennis.
Yes, and then G, and then shaver, like a big shaker bronze shaver, SHAV as in Victor ER. So when you look it up, you'll see it on Amazon. And one of the things I learned on Amazon as well is that someone looked it up the other day and he said, Dennis, it's not #1 right now. And I said, well, I didn't know this either, but when you write a book and all of a sudden it becomes a bestseller, you got to take a snapshot of it because there's many other books that are coming in all the time. But can I share a quick story? What happened the day I found it was a bestseller?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You remember that day? It was crazy. So I'm at a football game. My best friend, Steve, in Michigan, his son was having a junior league football game, and it was at the Ford Stadium in Detroit. So at that time, I think you had texted me, and my book is probably at number 6 or 5, something like that. And I'm sitting in the group of people, and we're all high-fiving about his son winning, making some touchdown, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you send me a text and you said it's #2. And I'm like, oh my God, it's #2. And I'm sitting here thinking, this is absolutely amazing. Then you send me another text about 10 minutes later, you said, we're #1. And all of a sudden I said to all my friends, we're #1. And they thought I was talking about the football team, okay? So I'm standing there just jumping up and down, and I said, #1 bestseller just now, check this out. And I'm handing my phone around, so don't drop it. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to hurry up and get a screenshot of this. Like Ellen said, my book coach, and it was such a glorious feeling. I had tears coming down my eyes of joy. I was so happy. My friends were happy for me. It was just the most beautiful experience. And those moments were moments I'll never, ever forget. And I know that there's so much possible when we step into our genius, and we actually take advantage of an opportunity that we're helping other people, ask for help, and especially a coach, and help them guide you. And that's what you did for me. So I'm so grateful for this. And that day that happened, we were so happy, weren't we?
Yes. Well, that's one of the reasons I love doing what I do. It's like people get instant gratification. It doesn't take months and years to do this. You know, once we get it set up, it's just a couple days, and you get
Right.
that feeling, and it's just I mean, I'm getting tears just listening to your story again. You know, because that joy is just something that it's so great to experience. You know.
Yes, it
Anyways, well, I
is.
want to thank you so much for doing this. Again, if people want to reach Dennis, you can reach him and his books at Amazon at dennisgshaver.com. I mean, not .com, just on there. But what is your website? If people want to reach
DennisGShaver.com.
Okay, well, that was it, dennisgshaver.com. And anybody who wants to reach me uh, to contact me, you can go to info@ellenviolette.com and email me, and we'll get in touch. So thank you, Dennis, so much for this. I'm so happy that we were finally able to connect again, because I know you're a very busy guy, and
Yes.
you know, just let people know what's possible. So thank you for being so open and sharing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything, and also the listeners as well. Oh my gosh, just go for it. Step into it and take it. Take advantage of getting some help and writing your book. There's people waiting for you to show up.
Okay, bye-bye.